need to do for ourselves. And for that, I'm excited about that because that means I'm going to have a wonderful day. And my day is going to be exceptionally wonderful because I have as my guest today, I'm so excited, women in leadership. Women in leadership. They are representing different schools in the sales system, charter schools. They're serving Northeast Ohio with 21 public charter schools. And on that note, I want to share a little Black history because we're still doing Black History 365. This young lady here, her name is Susie King Taylor. She was born in 1848 and she died in 1912. Susie King Taylor has a community charter school. She opened it up in Savannah, Georgia. When you get a moment, as my grandson says, Google grandma. When you get a moment, Google her name and you will see the exciting history about this young lady that wanted to teach African American children how to read. And the school is currently still standing as a charter school. So kudos to the women in leadership as part of the charter school system. So now that we've done that moment together, I like for my guest today, we'll start with one by one and introduce yourselves and share with us your story about how you wind up being a teacher. We'll start with Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Alvey. I started with Lake Erie Preparatory School. Actually, it was my very first teaching job 7 years ago. This is my 7th year now. And I taught kindergarten for the first 6 years. And then I just transitioned into this director of academics role middle of last year and then this year. So right when the pandemic hit, I got a new position. But I love it. I love where I am. Urban education was not my original intention, not my original pathway, but I couldn't see myself really in any other place right now. I just love being with the kiddos and the impact that we have out there and being able to even see them now, even in my new position and how they grow still. So.
Aren't they special bundles of joy?
Yeah.
I know you've heard some stories that we can't even speak about on air.
Yeah,
some of those stories we have to write a memo because they are precious little darlings, excited about leaving home, daycare, big mama, and all of that, and coming to, as I teach my babies, you're going to big school. So I know how excitable, and I see your bubbliness, and I feel your energy, how you love our babies. Thank you so very much. Ms. Brendan.
Hi, my name is Hannah Breeden, and this is my first year teaching altogether. This is my first year at Lake Erie Preparatory. I graduated college just last May when the pandemic hit, and I don't think, like Jamie, I never pictured myself in an urban school district, but I don't think I would change anything at all just because these kids have had more of an impact on me in the last 6 months than I thought they would ever have. And plus, going into kindergarten, it's just always fun. You never know what you're getting into, so.
Ma'am, thank you so very much. And congratulations. You said 6 months ago.
Yes, thank you. I just started
Congratulations.
August, so thank
August. You. All righty then. Miss Dillons, am I pronouncing your name right?
Yes, it's Dillions, like millions, billions, with the D, the Dillions.
I'm loving that metaphor. I'll be using that. Thank you, my sister. Welcome.
Hi, so I'm Cherie Ray Dillions, and I'm into my 28.5 years in education, 25 years coming in from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, former administrator there. Crossed the waters, if you will, from the public to the charter 4 years ago. And is there any other job? Is there any other job? Is there any other career than serving? And we're serving our students to be the best, regardless of race, color, creed, socioeconomic level. As I always say, from the neck up, Just because your circumstances physiologically, you may be in the projects. You may not have a mom, you may not have a dad, but God has blessed each and every one of us with brains, brain cells, intelligence, and knowledge. And so from the neck up, we cultivate and motivate and inspire that child, that boy and or girl, to be the best, to achieve, to know that they can learn. And so I humbly am thankful for the gifts and talents God has blessed me with, and to be on this journey and continue on even now to serve our children.
Wait a minute. I'm calling y'all Mrs. These is my sisters today, talking about our wonderful, loving, bubbly, enjoyable bundles of joy. You're making me feel so good this morning, because some teachers don't feel this way. And
Absolutely.
to have on my show teachers that do feel this way,
Yes.
I salute you.
Yes.
Sister Hill, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Sorry, I got thrown off. My mom, I think, actually just joined the Zoom meeting. So, hey, Mom. My name is Erica Hill, and I'm the Dean of Academics and Culture at Canton College Preparatory School. I've been there for 8 years. I started out teaching first grade, and then I've taught kindergarten and second grade. And then about 2.5 years ago, I did get promoted to leadership, and I kind of do a dual position where I do dean and like mentor the students and remediate behaviors as needed, but then also do like the instructional coaching and observe and do coaching sessions with my teachers as well.
Wow. I'm in the right place, aren't I? I'm in the right place at the right time. Have we heard from all our teachers?
No, you haven't heard from me. Sorry, I'm Haley Mueller.
Lisa, good morning.
Sorry, I am the principal of Northeast Ohio College Preparatory School, and we are located in Tremont. And I taught for 6 years prior. This is my second full year as the principal there, and I just want to say I feel blessed every day. I'm truly living my dream of what I always wanted to do, and that is to be the principal of my own school. So I'm happy to be here, and especially with all these wonderful ladies, because I know everyone's rocking it right now. So
thank you so very much. If you don't mind, let me just share 30 seconds of who I am. I am a native of Cleveland, Ohio. My parents migrated from the South years ago. I am in my 72nd chapter of my life. I had wonderful parents. Not realizing that I was going to be doing what I'm doing, because coming up in the era that I came up, our neighbors were families. So if they heard that Miss Smith didn't have any food or whatever, the whole street got together and took the food over there and, fed their children. And it was kept between us. There wasn't no TV to jump on. Well, I served 2 families on my streets. My mother took children in, her and daddy, that didn't have anywhere to stay or to live. But like I said, it was the whole street, and they all had migrated from the South. So they had a lot in common. And one stickler in our family was to get your high school diploma. That was a must in our household. My mother had to quit school when she was 16, migrating from the South. And my daddy always said that my mama would go to school when the youngest one was in school all day. So he was 5, and my mother went to school and became a nurse. We still taking in people. Our house was known as the big house, but you all spoke about planting seeds in our children. We don't know what seeds we're planting in our children that'll have them grow up and wind up doing the same thing that they've seen coming up. So that's who I am. I was in corporate America. My father started a business in his home, in our home. So it's so much like ingredients to a cake. We can bake that cake, but you leave out one ingredient, which is your high school diploma. Get your education. You're going to have to start this journey all over again. So that's a little bit of who I am. When you get a chance, you can go to my website, you can go to my page, and you see a lot of things that I love to do. And they're all based around my children, our babies. So what I want to do now, and any of our our women in leadership can chime in. I have several questions, and this is one that I know we all can have something to say. At this time of year, something on the minds of schools and parents in kindergarten registration. What can you tell us about your kindergarten program? So let's start with Miss Mueller. You're up on the screen now. Let's start with you, please.
Okay. At NEO, that's what we call our school, Northeast Ohio College Prep. We just call it NEO. Kindergarten is always my favorite class that we have at this school because it's introducing students to what school is going to be like. So our kindergarten program, we specifically focus on getting the kids to love school and have a passion about school. It's their very first year in the building. So if that starts off negative, that sets the path for the rest of their school career. So we are really focused on teaching them, obviously, the academics and everything that goes into that. But what's more important to me is just getting them to have a passion about school, to get those social skills, to interact in a positive way with education. So that's definitely something in our kindergarten program that you will see at NEO.
That's wonderful, because don't forget, they're coming in from home, from daycare, different areas that their little lives have experienced. So they need that first day of school to be unforgettable.
Yep.
You
And
know,
to be
my
something
teacher
constant.
care.
Consistency is also, and to be something consistent in their lives, for sure.
Absolutely, because it'll settle them down a little bit. You know what I mean? And it'll make a better day for them. And you're right, being consistent. This is what we do every day. This is how it goes every day. Thank you so much, Ms. Mueller. Ms. Hill. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, yeah. So at Canton College Preparatory School, we're doing very similar things. We definitely focus on strong academics, but we also want to focus on how fun kindergarten can be. I think sometimes we like to forget that you can have fun, you can sing and dance. So one thing that's really important to us is, while we maybe just got done doing some iReady testing or an assessment, we're going to take a dance break, we're going to do a power hour, we're going to sing. So just so we can show our scholars that while we're going to do some really critical things, I'm going to push you, we're really going to ask you to do some really hard questioning and answering. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun at lunch. We're going to talk about everything that you did earlier in the day, later on in the day, and learning happens any moment and any time, but just to also have as much fun as you can. And, oh, I love coming here. I can't wait to come back. Yes, baby, that's right. And so making sure, like Ms. Mueller said, that having fun is important as well, because if we don't like kindergarten, we might not really want to go to first grade. So I definitely agree that you have to set the tone that strong academics are important, but we're going to have fun and learn along the way as well.
Thank you, Miss Dillions. I remember millions.
Yes, so first let me say, I'm Regional Vice President of the Broadway Academies, and the Broadway Academies are at two locations, one at 55th and Broadway in Slavic Village, the other is in the Mount Pleasant area. And so at both campuses, our kindergarten classes are unique because, again, we all know that they need the so much in the reading, in the mathematics, and even with the social studies and the sciences, and that's great. But they also need to know that whole social emotional. So we have a creed that our students say every day. There's a song that they sing every day, and it's all about empowering, motivating them to be the best. What I share with the faculty and staffs that are key, and to the parents, that they have to speak words of life and love to the students. So these students, many have never been to a structured daycare. Many of them have never been to a kinder care or a nursery school. Many of our students just come directly from the home. And so they have to be taught, first of all, that they can learn. They have to be taught how to learn in a fun and a creative way. But they have to also learn the structure of things. And so we provide that for them, along with all of the field trips. Unfortunately, not happening this school year because of the pandemic, but getting them outside of the neighborhood and in many cases outside of the state of Ohio. And we provide a fine arts program. So the fine arts program, because we know each child has a talent and a gift that they've been blessed with. And a lot of times during our fine arts program, it ignites what he or she can do, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether it's instrumental music with drumming, whether it's African dance, whether it's orations and dramatizations. All of our students participate in that, and it starts at the kindergarten level. So you're getting a full threshold of true learning, social emotional, the academic piece, the structural, the societal piece, and then of course their gifts and talents through the fine arts.
Thank you so much. Do you mind sharing the creed with us, please?
I certainly will.
Thank
They
you.
say it each and every day. They are standing in their royalty as they say it. And it is, I am genius. I am gifted. I am talented. I know all of my data. I will work harder to be smarter and persevere to be the best in all I do. And again, many of our students are coming from the lowest socioeconomic places in the city of Cleveland, Garden Valley, King Kennedy project areas. And so they have to learn how to persevere when they're going through, even at a very young age, how to shake it off. It's just to keep your mind focused that you still can learn and that you're going to learn. And so that's what they say each and every day. No slugging, standing in their royalty, sitting in their genius, ready to be successful.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Now listen, my sisters, I done put on all this makeup, got my lipstick on, think I look kind of cute today. I'm not crying today. I'm telling myself I'm not going to cry today because it really gladdens my heart to hear how the women in leadership, I had the men in leadership on a couple months ago, how all of you all is just so dedicated to our children for the different areas of the city that they come from. Oh, wow. Where's my Miss Britton?
All right, here. I think the best thing about our kindergarten program at Lake Erie Prep is that the kids know that when they come in, we're always laughing. I think one of the things that I've learned most is as kids get older, they lose laughter in school. And it's more about, oh, I got to do this. I have to read. I have to get the homework done. And I think in my kindergarten class, applying the laughter and the fun in the learning is what I want to install in them. Like everyone else said, we can have fun and learn. I think pushing the rigor is also a great thing that we do. We don't give them the small books and the small topics. We push their minds and we push what they can think with questions and let them kind of think for themselves. We don't give them the answers always. We let them think and find their answers within themselves and what they believe. And I think that's one of the great things about us.
Wonderful ideas. Thank you. Miss Abu.
Hi, yeah. So another thing at Lake Erie Prep, like everybody else has said, we are big on structure and consistency. One of the things that Miss Breeden does so well is her kids know to a T what is going to happen and when, to the point where I subbed for her class one day and they were very upset with me when I threw things out of whack. I like skipped a step and they told me. So we are very consistent and very structured, but in a fun way. And we also have a saying at our school that we do with all of our grades. We started kindergarten all the way till 8th grade. And it is that I am a leader, I am a lifelong learner, and I will change the world. And we make them say like the last part, especially with a lot of conviction, because we want them to understand that even though you're small, you're mighty, you know, and you can change the world. It can start here in kindergarten, it can continue on through 8th grade and beyond. So, but yes, we do have a very structured, consistent, fun atmosphere in kindergarten. We talk about data with the kids, even at 5, 6 years old. We make it, you know, understandable for them, but we let them know, like, this is what we're watching. This is why you're here. And we're going to keep growing you so that you can get to the next stage, which is 1st grade and beyond. So.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to stay on the kindergarten level for a moment because this is where life really changes for them. What should a kindergarten know coming into the kindergarten class at your schools? So you're already up, Miss, I'm gonna say Jamie. Could you share what you expect your kindergartens to know?
Yes. So we obviously know that some students are going to come with very little. So we plan right from the beginning of the year what we can do with the phonics, with the letter recognition, letter formation. We kind of start with the very basics because we know some of our babies just have never been in school before or daycare. But it would make it easier, and it would also help kind of grow them a little bit faster if they would know at least lower letters, the letters in their name, recognizing those, how to write their first name at least. We'll work on the last name, but at least the first name, recognizing their first name, counting to 10, the very basics, basic shape recognition. All of that would help promote faster learning. But again, we do plan for some of our students to come in without that. So we kind of give them the foundation they need to be successful.
Thank you so much. Ms. Hill? You okay? Ms. Hill?
Yeah, sorry, I was having a hard time unmuting. I definitely agree with what Jamie said. It would be beneficial if our kids came in, knowing their first name, being able to count to 10, being able to write some of those numbers, recognize some of those numbers. But again, we will work with whatever happens. We know that all of our scholars come in at different ability-based levels, and that's fine. Sometimes I think parents are maybe a little overwhelmed of like, oh no, what should they know? And I think sometimes parents are afraid that if their child maybe doesn't know everything, that that's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That is our job, to educate and support your scholar, but just having some of that knowledge beforehand does help. But even some of those social skills, like helping if you can kind of tuck your shirt into your pants or unbutton your pants. You'd be surprised at how many times, can I go to the bathroom? And that little button, unhooking that button causes some issues at potty time. So I can unbutton my pants, unzip, tuck my shirt in, maybe tie my shoe, put my coat on. So definitely some academic things, but even some self-care, some social things would help as well.
Oh, absolutely. Small things. And we may think, it's so small, but I'm going to save some of my comments because this next question is going to bring us all back in again. Ms. Mueller?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Are you
ahead.
going to ask another question or are you still going that question?
No, I'm going to ask another question, but I took my glasses off. I really meant to say Miss Dillions. We want to hear from her. Thank you.
So again, it's the simple things. Has your child ever held a crayon? Has your child ever held a pencil? Does your child know how to accept the words, I love you, that I say every day to my entire student population? Do they know how to accept a thank you or aren't you pretty? So I hit it from, yes, it's nice for you to know your numbers. Yes, we're going to teach you if you don't know your alphabet or your letters. If you don't know the sounds, the whole phonemic piece is heavy on our students, but it's the simple things. Have you learned a sense of respect? The beginning of self-worth. And so that's why I hit the parents with, we're going to take care of the whole academic piece. My faculty and staff rock and roll. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about that whole, again, that social emotional, that you can stand up straight, that you do know how, as Ms. Hill said, to unbuckle your pants. Do you know how to use the restroom, believe it or not?
Absolutely.
And so it's those pieces that we work heavy on, but you're going to get those academics. That's a given. Because if you can recognize the sign of a McDonald's, and when you see that golden M, it can say McDonald's, or you see the girl with the pigtails that says, I'm Wendy's, or the Walmart sign, clearly, again, we know that those brain cells are working. So you're going to transfer all of that into the academics, but you also have to learn self-respect at that age.
Yes, ma'am.
Love, to be able
Yes,
to
ma'am.
accept it, and the like. So we totally saturate our kindergarten students with this, again, the academics and the social emotional, with the parent piece connected to it.
And you are, all of you are so correct. Don't forget, I got a daycare. Some of my babies, I sometimes tell my parents, I says, oh, I'm going to close the daycare down. Oh, no, Mama Gilmore, Miss Gilmore. I said, oh, yes, I'm going to close it down. And they said, why? I said, because I'm going to open an adult daycare, put my babies in school, and have you all come to the class. And that's so funny to them. I said, think about it, because don't forget, your little bundle of joys come to daycare and tell me everything. I stopped asking, so I have to really fix that. How was your weekend? Did you have fun over the weekend? They call me Grandma. I said, Grandma, I miss you. And oh boy, they start telling. So now I need to address the parents, as you said. They'll know all of these things, and we don't want them in an unsafe environment as well. But our little darlings, you ask them a question, you about to know about everybody. When I say everybody, everybody. I have to, like I said, I have to stop my children. But what we want to segue into is the parents. The parents. The parents. And by me having a smaller environment, I print out papers, I send, I text, I email. And one of my babies said, Grandma, you need to stop giving me all them papers, because Mommy got him in the back. Mommy has them on the floor in the back seat with the McDonald's bag. So now I know that there's no help at home. And then they want us, y'all know you've heard this before, they want us to be the miracle worker. A 5-year-old should not be peeing and having bathroom problems at 5, unless there is a condition. So can you all share, you're already up, my sister, can you all share some of the experiences with the parents versus our children?
I can start if you want, or Miss Dillians, you're
Yeah.
going to go?
Okay.
Yeah, I can just
Okay.
speak on it briefly, and you can come right on in, Mueller.
Technology is trying to act up today, but we're not gonna, that's negative energy.
So the parent piece with that is we're not the enemy. They have to understand we're not the enemy. But I also need for you to understand that you're the parent. In as much as I may call your child my baby, my child, the reality of it is, this is your child. I have been given the authority to lead your child, but there's things that you're going to have to step to the plate to do. Some of them may seem to believe that, oh, she's mean. Oh, she's putting everything on us. No, I'm going to direct you and guide you to how life should be in the world of your child, in the world of kindergarten. There's some basic things that should happen. And we're going to provide that information and that modeling for you, because we have to model for them. And so the parents, eventually they learn, oh my God, we don't deal with folliness, craziness, foolishness, or shenanigans. That certain things that your child should know, but we're going to love you up, mom and dad, or grandmother, or adult sibling, We're going to love you up really good so that your child, what happens in the home can permeate to the child to come to school, to be ready to accept the learning, if you will. But the parents is a heavy. It's a heavy across the board, from daycare to preschool, public charter, private school. The parents
Yes,
need a lot
ma'am.
of support and a lot of love.
Yes,
And we're going to
ma'am.
give it to them at the Broadway Academies.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh my goodness. Miss Jamie, woo wee.
Yeah, with the parent piece, we at Lake Erie Prep, we do have very intentional communication with our parents. We ensure that our teachers are not only reaching out to parents for negative things, but for positive things as well. We want them to know, like, your child is doing amazing. We want them to know that, hey, your child's struggling with this. But we also, we want to encourage our parents to reach out to us too. Like you said, we're not the enemy. We want to help. If your child is struggling and you don't know what to do, that's what we're here for. Not just our teachers, our administration team, all the way to our office manager is amazing with handling phone calls from parents and just walking them through how to get through this virtual time right now. But it's a lot of communication, and it is some pushback like, hey, we want to help, but your child hasn't done homework, hasn't done their assignments, hasn't submitted this. Here's the evidence that we have for this. And we have some very real conversations with those parents to pull them in. Again, not to push them away. We don't want to put it in a negative light, but we need their support. So we communicate that a lot with our parents at our school. And we just work with them. We listen to their stories. We know what's going on, especially now. We know that times are tough, not just now, but we know, you might not have the supplies, you might not have what you need. We are doing everything we can to help. So as long as parents reach out to us, we keep those lines of communication open. That is really all that we can ask for. And then we encourage and assist as we can. So.
Yes, we can. Miss Mueller,
Yes.
please.
Especially our kindergartners, I think that families should really know that the relationship that we have with them as parents and as families is just as important as the relationship we have with their kids. If we start out strong and together, that always makes things easier. I actually have a 2-year-old and I just had a baby. I have a 2-month-old. So I always like to tell my parents that I know being a parent is probably one of the hardest jobs that you will ever have. And as a principal of the school, as the mom of my school, it's my job to help make their job as a parent easier. So coming into kindergarten, just really making sure that parents know that we are there to work with them and not just their child. And I think that that's super important, that they come in accepting our help and wanting to work together, especially for our kindergarten babies, for sure.
Well, congratulations. You got another bundle of joy, boy or girl?
Another girl. I have 2 little girls, so I have my hands full over here. But.
And with our precious kindergartners that we send into your classroom every day.
Yes, I actually could not wait to get back to work. So I enjoyed my maternity leave, but I miss my school kids just as much as I miss my own kids sometimes. So
yes, that's that love that we show them, and for them to be so excited about coming to school. Now, I tell you what I miss most. My children they leave me at pre-K because I want them to get the environment. Before the virtual and the pandemic, one of the schools that's close to me, I've been in business 13 years. They allowed me to bring my children to the kindergarten and the pre-K classroom for about 20 minutes so they can get the feel. We went twice a week. Plus my daycare setting is like a classroom. And what a difference that made with my children. They was like, oh, Grandma, we have that at home. We have this and we have the exposure. And now with the pandemic, no matter how we prepare them, they still needed to come a couple of days before or whatever, so they could see that this is school. That's what I can't wait about the schools opening back up, for our kindergartners, for our pre-K and first, second, and third grade. They all, like I said earlier, they all hate this virtual. My baby just told me yesterday, Grandma, I still hate it. I said, but you know what? Just like I teach you that we have to eat vegetables, feed our brain so we can be smart, you still have to sit there and listen to your teacher so the vegetables can work. If you don't listen to your teacher, they're not going to work. And we're just eating carrots and broccoli and celery for nothing. That calmed her. She says, oh, okay, Grandma. Let me go back to class. I said, well, when break is over, you can go back to class. So this is what they miss is you all, really. The children really miss the teachers. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel? You're already up, Miss Mueller. How do you feel? Missing, you miss the children.
Yes, and also I think that we don't give enough credit to our kids right now. Over a weekend, our kids as little as 5 and 6 years old had to learn how to change the entire way that they do things. I always give as much credit as I can to our kids that they even can sit there at a computer and listen to their teacher teach for more than 20 minutes is amazing to me. That it just shows the resilience of kids in general and just how much they actually can do. And it's important, especially at NEO, we try to reach out to the families as much as possible. We do home visits if we have to, or even if we just, tell them to come to the door and give them a wave, or mail home things as much as possible. Try to keep that school atmosphere going because like you said, the kids are really missing that social interaction. So the best we can virtually and safe and keeping our social distance, but also letting them know that we are proud of them and everything that they've done, and we are still here, and we will be here when everyone's ready to come back to normal, hopefully soon.
Very soon. Thank you so much. Ms. Jamie?
We've been blessed at LEP to have some of our students in the building for most of the year. So that has kind of taken some of that, that pressure off of us. But we miss having the loud halls, not the loud halls, we have quiet halls, but the loud rooms. And we miss having just, the fun things we used to do where we get everybody in the cafeteria and have a talent show, or have like green team celebration, which is parading K4 throughout the building, celebrating their good behavior. And it's quiet, and it's not something that we're used to, is having a quiet building. Without the loud learning and the fun that we hear with a whole class. So it is tough. But like Miss Mueller said, our kids are so resilient. Just the fact that they show up even virtual every day for us. If we don't see them for a couple days, we reach out, what's going on? What happened? Do you need us? And if we don't hear from them, we get concerned and we reach out 10 times more. So it is, it's been different, and I'm ready for it to go back to how it was.
Amen, amen, amen. Miss Hannah.
Let me unmute my, yeah, I think I take it as a personal look back. I think since this is my first year of teaching, I think of all the things like I'm missing out, but then I also think of the kindergartners. I'm like, this is their first real year of school, and this is what they're going to have to remember. And I think just telling the kids at home, like, yes, you are still a part of this classroom, even though you're virtual. Like, I start every day out going to each child individually and having them tell me how they're feeling, just so they can get used to school and just feel a part of the school, I think is a big thing. And I just remember one of my kids was like, Miss B, I don't like online school. And I said, you know what? I don't like online teaching either, but until I can have you here, I can't wait to see you tomorrow morning on my screen. And I think just giving them like the positivity, even though in such a negative time of our life, they can still look forward to seeing everyone on their screen and getting to love learning even when they're not. And I think at Lake Erie Prep, they really do miss us, and we all miss them. So I think they're looking forward to coming back, and I think everyone is too.
Yes, they are. Thank you. Miss Hill.
Yes. it's just kind of been a difficult transition for everyone, but I definitely, like Ms. Mueller said, she wants to praise the kids. I agree, because our kindergartners are doing some really great things. It's definitely making them diverse. I think if nothing else, it's showing our scholars that learning does happen in different capacities. You know, it's really cool to see a little 5-year-old open up their Chromebook and they are on it. They're able to open up Canvas, get to that live session, and go from having maybe the Chromebook right in front of them to the paper and pencil or the book right next to them, or showing that learning happens in different ways. You know, a lot of our kids maybe are knowing how to use a cell phone or an iPad, which that's a great component of technology. But, you know, we're getting 5-year-olds at a young age knowing how to use, you know, a Chromebook or starting to type small phrases and sentences. So even though this has been such a big transition and the shutdown and everything has had a lot of impact, there is still some positivity because we're getting 5-year-olds kind of ready for a more college and career readiness opportunity because we're typing things and just I see cat. You know, that's a lot for a 5-year-old. And oh, I forgot the period. That's okay, girl. But I started a small phrase and I'm going to keep building upon those things. So while this has been so crazy, we might look up and this next generation is maybe more equipped to do things on computers and devices because they're learning so much right now at such a young age, especially in that kindergarten age.
You are so correct. So correct. Ms. Dillions?
Yeah, so like Jamie was saying, we are blessed to have both of our campuses have the 3 modalities. So we have some students who are virtual, some students who come hybrid. They come 2 days a week on our Mondays and Tuesdays. And then we have those traditional students. But what we do, and as I've had to enforce with the faculty and staff, because sometimes the virtual get lost in the sauce, if you will. So when we have our academic awards program, we just had our 2nd quarter academic awards program on last Friday. Not only do the traditional and hybrid students have an opportunity to get either the trophies, the gift bags and all of that, but the virtual. So what I love about it is that the students who get the major awards, regardless of their modality, they are actually in the school building. So we have, it's just an awesome time and celebration of those students doing a job well done. But I have asked, begged, pleaded for our schools to be able to have all of our kids back. And of course, I know the CEO was like, no, Cherie, this was back in September. We have to follow, you know, the CDC and all of that. But I can just hardly wait just to be able to see, touch on the shoulder, dap you up. All of those, again, those humanware kinds of things that they're missing. But they still have to say their creed. They're still a part of the whole program that we have at our schools. But it is, I can just hardly wait to actually just see, give a hug, as I said, dap up to our students who are virtual.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I have a question. I'm gonna go old school. I heard through the grapevine that Ascel Schools is planning something special for the National Read Across America Day. Can you share your plans with us? We can start with Ms. Dillion since she's already on the screen.
Yes, so the National Read Across America Day.
Yes, yes.
It falls right in line with Dr. Seuss's birthday. So we're just gonna Dr. Seuss it up. I love Dr. Seuss.
Me too.
You know, that carries us from if you're 100 years old, all the way up if you're 3 years old.
That's right, yes.
So, we're gonna do the celebrations, and it goes all across the Excel schools with reading, doing all kinds of actively engaged activities with the students, doing some comprehension sorts of things, some reading strategy sorts of things. And I'm really, really very excited for that, for all of our schools.
I am too, my sister, because reading, that's the key. Okay, Ms. Hannah, share with us some more about the national.
Yes, I'm so excited. I love Dr. Seuss, and I can't wait to share that with my kids because half of them don't know who Dr. Seuss is, which is crazy to me. But I think the best part is we're going to get to do crafts, more crafts with the books, reading like Miss Dillian said, more comprehension questions, rhyming words is a big part. And just getting to bring in like the fun, like crazy socks, even for the virtual kids, or having them participate in the daily themes that we're going to have. And I'm just excited for the crafts and for the kids to actually get to kind of put aside the academics for like 5 minutes and get to put in their hard work into a crafts after we read one of their funny books, and just getting to do Dr. Seuss. I can't wait. I'm just excited.
I think we all love Dr. Seuss. When I first started, I had to read Green Eggs and Ham for
Yes,
2
yes,
weeks.
yes.
For 2 weeks, Green Eggs and Ham. I mean, they would literally cry. Grandma, one more time with green eggs and ham. So I decided to cook and do with the green eggs and ham. So I'm thinking this is going to be the end of the green eggs and ham. Oh no, I was trying to introduce the cat in the hat. We couldn't even get to the hat. So I went out and bought all, the tall hats. So that helped us get into that. But our children, and you're right, 100 and back. I love Dr. Seuss. We celebrate his birthday, and everything else. So Miss Jamie, where are you?
Right here. Sorry.
Okay,
I'll find you,
okay.
but,
Share
um,
your thoughts.
So if any parents want any more information on it as it gets closer, it is called the Super Silly, Amazingly Amusing Virtual Event with Excel Schools. It's a mouthful. But we have families that can attend individually, or they can attend through their daycare. So there's a couple ways that kids are going to be able to get involved with this. And they can also pick up a goodie bag in advance, either at our school location, or we're going to be in contact with some daycares as well. I'm thinking that the daycares are going to have some goodie bags too. But yeah, again, it's just something to promote reading. Dr. Seuss books are always really fun. That rhyming, that rhythm they have with them. The kids can usually read part of it with you because there's that repetition piece. It is really inspiring and just gets them really engaged. So I'm very excited for this virtual event that we're going to have.
Woo woo! Very good, very good. Miss Haley.
Yeah, so the great thing about this event is that it's an Excel-wide event. So the same event that I'm doing at my school at NEO, they're doing at LEP. We're doing it all the way down in Canton. We're doing it at Broadway. So it gives the parents a lot of different options where if you maybe aren't even sure where your kid should go to school next year, there's a lot of options. So you could do it through NEO, you could do it through LEP. And like Jamie said, it's really great that the parents can come and they can pick up the supplies ahead of time and have everything ready for when we do this virtual event. And it's really great if you are in a local daycare, please reach out to your daycare and tell them to get involved, because then we could do it for the whole daycare class, which would be really great.
Thank you so much. Miss Hill.
Yeah, I'm excited because we're going to be reading Daisy Head Maisie. We're going to have some different guests come in and dress up. And like Jamie said, the rhyming is really fun. So like I'm really big on music. So I know when we're reading, we'll probably sneak in some beats, some songs, some dances, just to make sure they're really engaging those scholars at the daycare level, but even our kindergarten scholars, and just having lots of fun, just continue to show that while reading is always important, that you can make reading just as fun as well, and grab the attention of our youngest students as well, and just get them ready for school.
Yes, that's definitely a national happy day. Happy, happy, happy. And I have a section of just Dr. Seuss books. So I let them go pick out the book, and I read it, and then they'll take the book. Grandma, let me read to you. Oh, really? Okay, let me read to you. We are going to refuse technology not being kind today, because this is about our babies. So my other question is, our parents, we have to continuously educate our parents. How can families get in touch with you, and what closing remarks do you have? Because we have 12 minutes.
Well, I'll go. You can. I know we all have. We all have school websites. So you can always go to our website, cantoncollegeprep.org, and get any information that you can need or want. Like our school calendar is on there, all of our leaders' contact information. We're always enrolling anytime, so you can always fill out an application online as well. We have a school Facebook page, so you should go to Canton College Prep on Facebook and see what we're doing. We've been doing lots of things for Black History Month, celebrating, showing different videos, but you can also kind of get firsthand looks into our classrooms and see what we're doing at the instructional level. So just, that's one way that you can always get in contact with us, through social media or our school page.
Oh, that is awesome. It is awesome. Now, where's my Miss Jamie at?
Right here.
Okay.
Just like Erica said, we have a school website page, lakeerieprep.org. So people can visit that. We have a school Facebook page, Lake Erie Prep on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find us on those social media sites. Our website really is the best one to go to because like Eric said, we do have the school calendar there. We have information on upcoming events that we have. Also, the registration is there. Registration is super easy online. They can start filling it out, give our office manager a call with any questions. We will need some documentation when they register. That should all be listed there. If not, it's their typical utility bill, birth certificate, shop records, things like that. And we make it easy if they can't come up to the school, if they're not comfortable coming up to the school because of COVID still. You can text our office manager, you can scan it and email it in. So lots of ways to register with us through our website. We also have a school phone number, which is 216-453-4556. Miss Mack is our office manager and she is a godsend. So they can reach her and have any other questions they have answered.
Okay, with us being, especially to you sisters, women in leadership, I'm quite sure that we have to put the mother hat on, take it off, put the principal hat on. We got all these hats. Now, we really have a cat in the hat because the hats is way up top. How do you easily shift gear? How do you feel when you have to shift to unpleasant phone call or unpleasantness with one of our babies?
I can speak on that. You know, it's just part of the job. You know, especially having all those different hats, I think that it's actually not that hard to switch them back and forth, because if you're wearing that mother hat, you're the mom. So, you know, you have to talk to the parents, you have to let them know what's going on. You have to be able to give them that tough love. Really what it is that, you know, I think especially at all of our schools and especially at NEO, the kids know that we love them. We expect the best from them, but we're not afraid to, you know, step in and let them know when they're doing something wrong. So I think having that tough love with our students, it makes it easy to switch those hats on. I always have 8 of them on at one time, so you have to mix them all together.
Absolutely. Miss Hannah, with you being the oops.
I was just going to, this is Ms. Gillian, just going to say, you know, my students hear this every day. I love you, but I serve you with a tough love. So what does that tough love mean? Being mean, it does not mean being curt. It means everything that I want the best for you. And so they can articulate either campus, what does tough love mean? And so they say, because you genuinely care. And so you have to wear those hats sometimes, even with the faculties and staffs, even with, because life happens, and with all the entities within that school setting. And so you're wearing every type of hat possible, utility for the custodial, the freezer went out for the cafeteria, I mean, and all of it. And I think that when you're really committed and invested as an educator, it's just going to come natural. And then for a person like myself, I'm seasoned. And so because I'm seasoned in the game, in the world of education, it's just a natural. You flip on, flip off. Sometimes you have to wear 2 or 3 at one time. And so, but I do want to just go back to the question regarding how to connect with the schools. Jamie and Erica has already stated, we all have the websites. We have a school cell phone, so parents can actually take snapshots of their documents and send them directly to the school. We have a number 216-750-1202. We'll connect you to either campus, but our doors are open. The love is here. And so for those students who are looking, and faculties, and parents that are looking for real educational entities, all of the Excel schools can provide that, just depending on your location, and our doors are open to serve our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you repeat that? I love you. And what else did you say?
I love you, but I serve you with a tough love. And I've been saying that back since 1997. I have some of my students, their parents were my students when I was an administrator in Cleveland schools. So when I say that creed, they can still say the creed. And they always come in, the mamas and daddies with 4 and 5 children. They say, I remember you love us, but you serve us with that tough love. Yes.
I love it. I love it. Where is Miss Hannah at? With you being, I don't want to say the baby, because I used to didn't like that when I was the youngest in the bunch. But Miss Hannah, we want to hear from you, being surrounded with these powerful women in leadership that have all these many years of experiences. How comfortable do you feel in that environment?
I think at Lake Erie Prep, definitely, I have a lot of other teachers that I look up to. I can name 5 off the top of my head that have been women in the teaching role, and just ask them questions. I'm so comfortable with going to Jamie. I'm so comfortable going to my principal at Lake Erie Prep with any questions. Even Miss Mack, the secretary, I know that they're not there to give me criticism that's going to hurt me. They're going to give me criticism that'll help me grow. And I think definitely knowing that they care to have my best interest in teaching and to help me grow is what makes it just comfortable enough to go to school every single day. So.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start with Miss Jamie. Give out the name of your school, please, and the phone number.
Yep, our school is Lake Erie Preparatory School, and our phone number to reach us at is 216-453-4556.
Okay, Miss Hannah.
I'm also Lake Erie Preparatory, 216-453-4556.
Miss Hill.
I'm at Canton College Preparatory School, and we can be reached at 330-455-0498.
Miss Haley.
We are Northeast Ohio College Preparatory School. We are K through 12, actually, and the number is 216-453-4552.
Thank you. We already shared with Miss Billions, but I do want you to repeat it again, my sister, please.
Okay, the Broadway Academies, again, at 2 locations, East 55th and Broadway, and the Mount Pleasant area, East 131st and Chapel Side. We can be reached at 216-750-1202, and we will connect you to the campus of your choice.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for being my special guest today, Women in Leadership.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I want to end with a quote from 1997. I love you, but I serve you with tough love, penned by Miss Dillions herself. Thank you. I'm going to adopt that in my daycare. Thank you so very much. And you sisters have a wonderful day. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, thank you.